Flower all day. I'm old school.
Charles, edibles, flower, or oil?
Depending on what I'm doing, truthfully. If I'm out somewhere, I'll do an edible because it lasts longer. I don't gotta worry about keep tapping it. If I got something to do, but it's on the quick, I could do the oil. But if I'm just chilling and we can burn it down, flower all day. So it literally, for me, depends on the situation.
Indica all day.
You know what? I'm getting old, and I ain't even old, but I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I used to be indica all day, yo. I used to love that couch lock feeling, even walking around. But now I'm down with sativa now, yo.
It changes every day. I think.
Shit.
In Jersey, though, I would say motor breath.
Hey, yo, there's so many strains now. Everything is dope. But if you want to talk about my classic, if I can find piff right now, and I mean real piff, because people talk about piff, but if you wasn't from, like, you know what I'm saying, Northeast Jersey, Essex County, Harlem area, you don't really know about that piff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that, yo, if I can get piff, I will smoke piff every day, my dude. But I just like just feeling just mellow and chill, you know what I mean? And I consider myself a connoisseur. So me smoking and being active in life is not a problem. You know, most people, if you're an amateur with it, you may not understand that. But like, look, I can smoke and read a book. Like, I just like, that shit just make me feel phenomenal, man. That's, yeah.
I guess mine is dual-fold because on the health side of things, the health benefits, I've had different periods in my life where I used it for health benefits. So I remember being young and having stomach issues like acid reflux and ulcers, and it helped with that. It helped with my appetite back then. In recent years, it's helped with nerve pain and being able to sleep with back pains and things like that. So that's one side of it. The other side is I'm naturally hyper as fuck. Like, I'm just an aggressive, like, rowdy, you know, all the time. And if I don't smoke, I'm gonna get on everybody's nerves around me. So the best thing for me to do is to take a few pulls and just mellow out. That's all.
So at first, I thought the Bud library, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, that's dope. The Bud library, we could play off of that in terms of showing some type of Bud and then, you know, in our logo, and then a library in terms of like cataloging. We have so many different types, you know what I mean? Information about it. That's great. But then I thought like we ran across it, you know what I'm saying? I talked to him like, what you think, you know? And I was like, you know what? Maybe just the library. And then it just stuck. And then from that, you know, Corey just came up with a whole like vision of, you know what I'm saying, what that would mean and the type of environment and ambiance that would come along with that name, you know, most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we both have education backgrounds, so that first and foremost made sense when we're referring to it as the library. It's like you're gonna come here and you'll be able to learn something, you know, every time. Despite what we may look like, we didn't want to open up a pop culture establishment. We wanted something that was classy and upscale, something where everybody should feel comfortable coming to, because you know in the library you have to carry yourself a certain way. With that research, we also found out that a lot of places were not even allowing actual bud or references to marijuana in the logo or, you know, the name of the establishment. So we just felt like that would be the best option, to just be the library, to drop the bud off, but you know exactly where to pick it up from there, you know, and that was pretty much it.
And it also sounds kind of cool too. Like, yo, I'm about to go to the library real quick. You know what I mean? Like, like the library, it's like 7:45. What you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. You know.
You going to the what?
Exactly.
Come back 45 minutes later with some bud.
What type of library is that?
It's the Library of New Jersey.
Exactly.
I mean, we are the heart and soul of the industry. Regardless, I mean, yes, it's capitalism, yes, it's big business, but at the end of the day, most connoisseurs don't want to go to the Walmarts of cannabis. You know, they want to go to the mom and pop shops that put their love and their passion into it. And with that being said, that's exactly who we are. You know, we put our passion and love into everything we do, which is probably why we're very successful at the things that we set out to do, because of the amount of passion and care and time and just paying attention to every little detail, you know. So I just feel like that would be a disservice to us and our brand if we focused on working with the Walmarts necessarily as opposed to the people that are on the ground just like us. So.
We want to show that we can be impactful in neighborhoods beyond the sales of cannabis. That's the whole thing about this. Like, everybody wants to just have a spot and then be like, oh, I got a dispensary, I sell bud. That's cool, but that's the base level. There's so much more than that, you know? From the beginning, I was like, I want people's grandmothers who don't even smoke to know about the library. Like, oh, you don't do this from the library? I like them. They dropped off some turkeys to the food bank at my church. Or they helped, donate money to the senior center and they built something new for us. Or, or they did this after school program with kids in the neighborhood to tell them not to do particular things, you know what I mean? Wait till you're 21 or older to use cannabis because your brain is still about development. Things like that,
So obviously with two men of color, we know what it's like to experience inequality. We're not from a silver spoon background or situation, so equality is always going to be something that we're going to fight for regardless of what arena we're in doing business. That's just part of our genetic makeup. Social equity was something that we learned about, and immediately, I saw that I fulfilled the requirements or met the criteria to be a social equity applicant, so I started doing my homework and just with the research and seeing across the board and throughout the country, places that either had no social equity in place or that were trying to develop it after the market was already legal, as opposed to New Jersey where they're trying to establish it up front, was a little different, and I felt the need for us to really attack that. And now it seems as if we are the unofficial faces of social equity within this industry, so of course we're going to step it up even more. Those arrests were huge for me. In terms of now, I'm just happy for the people that are not affected by it. I wish that it had happened sooner so some of us wouldn't have had to go through it at all, but I can't erase the past. I think I needed to go through that myself. Just like everything else I've been through that helped carve me out to who I am today. So I don't want to see people experience some of the things that we've been through, that I've been through, and if you can live vicariously through me, or if you can go around certain circumstances because I did, then I want to give you that knowledge. I want to give you the opportunity to jump over that hurdle without crashing into it like I did and essentially bumping your head to learn it the hard way. So it means everything to me.
We had a virtual expungement webinar to teach people how to do it themselves.
NAACP.
Yeah, with the NAACP, the oranges. The success was phenomenal. People coming out and being able to get free legal services. Even if it didn't lead to them getting expunged that day, being able to be put on the right path of how to deal with whatever was on their record, or understanding where they stand with that, even if it was a situation to where it couldn't be expunged, at least now they know, and they know how to move in that space, you know what I mean? That was phenomenal, man. Like, you really can't put a price on that. One of my good friends that I worked with before, he got his whole record expunged. Everything gone. You know what I mean? And he was super happy, yeah. And that was phenomenal. I won because of that, essentially.
This is like the new end of Prohibition era. This is history in the making, and we're actually here as connoisseurs of it. I started smoking at 13, so back then it was like we had to hide and go find places. Now it's just like everybody smokes and everybody's having a good time. So,
but it's also super dope to just not feel like a criminal no more. You know what I mean? I was tired of that, and literally tired of the stigma that comes with illegality. Even if the illegality is not genuine or if it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? Just the fact that it's illegal is enough for people to look at you like, oh, can't believe, what are they doing? These degenerates, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So to me, that right there is everything. That's everything to me, man. Like literally, we ain't criminals no more. The micro license was only a springboard for us. We saw that as the most efficient way to get into the industry legitimately. You know what I mean? If we would have done a regular annual, we're gonna be waiting around for who knows how long before they look at our stuff. You know what I mean? We don't have the capital or resources to compete with MSOs coming up with regular annual licenses, so it just really doesn't make any sense, you know. But going the micro route, less money, you know, for the application, a lighter application, guarantees us to be at the top of the pile. We fit the qualifications for social equity, diversity owned. You know, it just made business sense to go that route.
One of the 7 habits of highly effective people is to begin with the end in mind. So one thing for sure is franchising. You know, getting the library in every state where it's legal for adult use is one of the things that we have in mind for the next 3 to 5 years.
And we do want a tiered business plan. You know, we definitely want to get to that. And cultivation is kind of our end game, I guess, in terms of cannabis, you know what I mean? And then from that aspect, in terms of what touches the retail market and stuff. So the cultivation is that's our last part of that, and that's what we really want to focus on when we get into that. But that's not the end game for everything. But just for that level, you know, the cultivation license is something that's going to be real important to us.
So we are getting ready to launch our first clothing line. It's going to be for men and women, and it's still going to be classy, but it is going to have a little edge to it, you know, for those that, you know, want to dress up.
I would have them to focus on 2 things. 1, you don't have to sell bud, grow bud, or transport bud to benefit off the cannabis market or industry, you know. So people should not limit themselves. Dispensaries gonna have bathrooms, right? They gonna need plumbers, right? They gonna need a cleaning service, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of other things that you can do, you know, to cement yourself in this industry besides just the bud aspect. But I will also say, find out what you really like about or what you really enjoy about the cannabis culture and focus on that. Because it's just like any other business. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. The stuff we're doing now is not fun at all, my dude. This is the pain in the ass part of the whole process. Paperwork, dealing with lawyers, and you know, all type of regulations and all.
Phone calls,
emails, you know, Zoom meetings and all of this. It's Microsoft Team meetings. That is not fun at all. You know what I mean? So if we weren't into it, literally, you know what I'm saying? If we weren't into it, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. So people got to understand this is still a business. So, you know, just focus on what you like. That would be my advice, truthfully.
And I would say you just had to submerge yourself in it. This is not something that you could do as a side gig. You need to be, like you said, it's ever changing, constantly. So you have to stay abreast of not only the traditional things, but the things that are constantly changing on a day-to-day basis. So in order for that to happen, you have to submerge yourself and really let this be your life. You know, read, surround yourself with people that are knowledgeable. You don't necessarily have to go to networking events and things like that, because I'm really not into that kind of stuff. But at least find a way to connect with those people if you're not gonna go out, because you can't do it by yourself. You need a team, you need people that are gonna help you along the way, else you're never gonna be able to get it done. So even with the know-how, you need resources and you need other people that can help you along the way.
I think it's going to be on the next presidential ballot. You know, they've already started, they've already initiated the process. You know, Congressman Payne just passed legislation, got it passed for decriminalization across the country. You know, that was like the first step and many steps to follow. But yeah, listen, we talking about big business here, you know. People don't understand that it was only suppressed because the pharmaceutical industry wanted to keep it suppressed so they could keep making their record numbers, but they couldn't keep it under wraps. So now, you know, it's out here now. Colorado tipped the scales, and from there, it's gone everywhere. You know, we saw that it wasn't going to burn society down. So once that falsehood was no longer provable, that's why it's opening up in so many markets. But you know how this goes. Ain't nobody going to let this money pass them by and not be able to jump on it. So the money's there. It's already a several billions of dollar industry. It's only going to get higher, and people want to make sure that it's federal before we get to that next level. So I would truly say that it's going to be on the next presidential ballot, truthfully. All right, let's see. I got some. What's the
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
We got
Rainbow Rust, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah.
I got some Skittles. I got what's the other one I have? The Blackberry OG. Matter of fact, no, it's not the Blackberry OG. What's the? I forget the OG I got. But I also have my pen is also. I think it's some. What is it? Some lemon something, I forget. But I'm all over the place, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got a little Ooh La La, that's Killer Mike's strain with Burner in them. I got the Rainbow. I got something I never had before called Crystal Blue. It smells, tastes,
it's fire.
It's strong too, so I really like it. And the last one was Larry Bird, the Gelato 33. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Right up.
Shouts out to Cali.
Facts.
That's it, y'all.
All right, true indeed, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. Nah, word up.